Are we live?
That's right. Tiny Meng, we still have a song. Take that shit up with James. Actually, the reason we don't have a song is James's computer, I don't know if it's computer died or it's just his internet router bit the dust.
Something happened.
Yeah, something happened and he's unable to do a lot of things he would normally do, which has him frustrated. That is a man you don't want to see this upset about something like that. That should be very simplistic to solve. My friend, how are you?
Good. Good. How are you doing?
I am bullshit.
James is here in the chat.
Oh, James. I'm sorry, brother. I had to let them people know. Had to let them know.
Spike.
Ooh,
oops.
Super
Is that
Spike.
the right? Did I put on? Oh, she's got no way a black one.
So, I'm shit, but I appreciate you asking.
Oh. Well,
I will say we are doing our makeup Spoopy Boys this Thursday. I'm very excited about that.
I've got 3 pages of notes. I was very thorough.
I have not made any notes, nor will I. I will just live on the edge of a razor blade by just saying dumb shit.
How could you say anything dumb about that movie? It's so good.
Oh man, I'm really struggling to hold things in my hands today.
Ray Skywalker, what up? Little weird book, what up?
And then next Thursday, we've got a Spoopy Boys episode, and we talked about it. Well, I think I more or less was like, "Hey man, can we do this thing?"
Oh, yeah, Nashy Boys. We're gonna do
Nashy Boys next Thursday. Friday's my birthday, and I want to do a Nashy Boys.
Yeah, all right.
What
do we watch?
I don't know. What do you? I was going to ask you. You pick. Why don't you pick the flick?
Oh, I'm not nearly as
I'm not overly wrote on the Nash either. I'm learning. We're learning together. This is a learning.
Although that last one, I don't know how we could top that. There was the imagery in that, like, oh my god, like it was insane. There's some things I saw in that last movie that I was just like, that's sticking in my memory banks for the rest of my life. Like, just like, I don't know, that one lady vampire when they finally have the showdown, like all that blood's like all over the place. It's like, yeah. Sorry, it's so metal. It got me in a big way.
Yeah. Why don't you why don't we look on what's on Tubi?
Yeah,
and then we'll choose, since Nashy Boys is brought to you by Tubi.
Yes,
Tubi,
good folks at Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi, get at us.
Tubi, give us that money, please.
Money,
Did I really just lose my lightsaber blade? Come on, man.
Oh, Super Spike.
Nope. And
is it really Nashy Boy? It's like if a tree falls in the woods and no one hears it, did it fall? Is it really Nashy Boys if Spike isn't there?
No,
it's really not. So yeah, next Thursday, Nashy Boys.
Or the Nashy Boys.
We went down to 3 players on Chaos Scar. I just spit a piece of food out on Monday, and I was just not in a very good place mentally to do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey guys, I know we moved it once, and we went down to 3 players, and then I was told we'd have 4 for this game. We do not have 4. So I'm going to be like, no game. I felt really bad about it, but because I'm ready to run. Actually, I just was like, I don't know, not there mentally for it.
I get that.
The doctor got back to me today. I was awesome.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, so yeah, it's not bad, or it's not good. It's not bad though either. So like, we'll just wait and see what those next test results are like. And I'm like, oh, so I guess like if my numbers crash out again like they did last time, I guess I'll just have to fucking live with that. I was actually kind of pissed off, which is weird because I love my GP. He's like the nicest human being alive. But I don't think he would have enjoyed if we were in a room together. And he said that to me because I was quite feisty afterwards. You ever get feisty for no reason?
Yeah, all the time.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling.
Because when I do it, I know I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I know it's not right, and I'm just doing it anyway, and it just makes me feel so fucking shitty. It makes me feel very small as a human.
Yeah, I too am cursed with like that kind of self-awareness when I'm acting really foolish and getting really worked up. No, I don't know. I'm not the thing that sucks though is I don't always catch it. So sometimes I just like fly off the handle, and then like later it's just like, hey, really sorry about that, everybody. That you had to see that shit.
I usually don't fly off the handle anymore. I just seethe. And
I'm more on that side of things than I am, but like every so often, like I'll have that like, especially it comes out more in like dad rage where it's like, all right, we're pulling over.
Yeah, I do not have the children's, so I lack that capacity. I mean, it just never happened. So, and unfortunately, I don't think it ever will. I will die childless and alone.
What?
I don't think we're ever gonna have kids. Not for lack of want. I just don't think it's ever gonna happen.
Yeah, but I mean, like like dying alone.
Probably. I mean, I don't know. Define alone. I mean, people might be there. People might be there, but
people might be. But will they be there really?
But will they really be there? I mean, it's all just we're all in the Matrix anyway.
Oh, my dad was saying that to me the other day. I was just like, what?
Your dad's like super into Andrew Tate and Red Pill.
Oh God, that'd just be icing on the cake with how I feel about my dad some days. Like if he was just such a men's rights douchebag, kind of like just chauvinist, misogynist, dick shit. Oh God. Andrew Tate fights ghosts.
Does he really?
Yeah, he made a post about it the other day how he's fighting all these ghosts.
Was that in prison?
Yeah. And then that if you cook food, you're a cook. So sorry everyone. If you cook, if you enjoy making food for yourself or your friends, loved ones.
Can't someone just shank him like they shanked what the fuck's his name that killed George Floyd?
Oh yeah. Chauvin.
Yeah, I don't even want to remember his name. He's not even worth remembering his name.
No, yeah.
What a piece of shit.
That guy does suck. And I love that people are like,
but I'm
why
serious.
Would you celebrate this?
Why doesn't someone just fucking
give it time? Give it time. It'll happen.
I'm worried it never will. The prison system is letting me down. Come on, prison.
Come on, you guys.
You've rarely let me down before.
Watch some Oz. Get hyped. Come on.
I caught myself watching some Raylan Givens highlights this evening.
Hey! I love Justified.
I do too. I haven't watched City Primeval, but I do.
I haven't either. Yeah, I'm behind. I do want to catch up though with it because I just love that Timothy Olyphant. He's a cool boy.
He is, and there's some just absolutely stellar dialogue in that show.
Yes. Oh yeah.
When he throws the bullet on Wynn Duffy and he's just like, the next one's coming a lot faster. That is like the most badass line that anyone has ever said in the history of television.
Ooh, Spike, you saw it? Nice. No spoilers.
I heard it was pretty good. I also heard that people say that it was just pretty good. And they said it's pretty good. It's better than most other things.
Yeah.
But if you're expecting it to be as good as the OG series, then you're going to be disappointed.
But also, I mean, like, you've got what, 6 seasons of the series, and like, so there's so much there to build on and like to like reminisce over.
And you know, no Boyd for any, you know, I think I'm not going to say anything more about that. I think because I don't know if you know or not.
I don't know anything.
Do you want me to give you a little tiny bitty spoiler?
No, not if it involves my Walton
Okay.
Goggins.
It involves Walton Goggins in a really good way.
Oh,
you still want to say no to that?
Nah, I have no willpower. Yeah, tell me.
He shows up at the very end, getting out of prison.
Yeah,
escapes prison.
Do it. Gets out of that prison.
Speaking of Walton Goggins,
did you see the stuff for Fallout?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He looks good.
Walton Goggins is a hell of an actor, and
he's a asset to any production he's a part of. He really is. He's
also
amazing.
I don't know if you saw this, but did you see who John Hamm wants to play in the Marvel Universe?
Did he say Dr. Doom?
He did say Dr. Doom.
I would take that. He is terrifying on the new season of Fargo right now. He is just, oh man, and it's a good season. I mean, 2 episodes only so far. New one's on tonight. I'll have to catch it on Hulu tomorrow.
He was terrifying on the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh yeah.
He was the scariest fucking thing, and he was so fucking happy to be scary. It was like it was such a weird thing. Like, I know I'm supposed to hate this guy, but it's John Hamm and he's really funny. Mm-hmm. And then he also was like, by the way, I'm fucking insane.
Yeah. Big time insane. Where's that?
Sometimes in my own head fiction, I try to keep in mind that maybe the guy from Barbarian was related to John Hamm's character. He was the shittier.
Oh God.
He was the shittier brother.
I don't want that headcanon. Keep that out of my Kimmy Schmidt.
He was the shittier brother, whereas John Hamm was the good brother. But not the Good Brothers.
No, not the Good Brothers.
Pepsi Phil showed up.
Yeah, I was excited about that.
Pepsi Phil back in work.
And good old Randy.
Pepsi Phil would tell you that he's finally home. He's finally home.
They did it. They did it, boys. Mama.
I am curious if the Seth Rollins stuff was work or shoot.
What's their original beef to begin with? Why would they not like each other? I'm totally in the dark on this.
Seth Rollins is kind of a little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're not wrong.
He is friends with a lot of people that were in AEW and who did a lot of like bitching to like Meltzer and everyone else who would listen to him. Yeah. I have completely lost anything I once had for any of those people. I always was kind of iffy on the Bucks, but I at least thought, well, Kenny Omega seems to be a reasonable person.
So yeah,
and I
don't like the Bucks though at all.
And Hangman, I kind of feel like he's the guy who started all that shit, and he's the guy who kind of gets.
I used to really like him.
I mean, you just Colt Cabana is a grown fucking man. If he needs Hangman to go out there and fight his battles for him, then it's even worse than his mother having his bank account. Yeah. You're a fucking professional wrestler. Just man the fuck up.
It's just easier to.
Yeah, Boyd off Wish. That's what I heard. I heard he's kind of the bad guy in the new season is a little kind of like, and he's a little like all the minor characters that popped up in Justified.
Yeah.
Who Raylan put down.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat.
Where do I put these? Where do these go? Oh, what do you do about it? Who played him?
I don't know. He was kind of like just a thief, basically, who was good with a gun, was my understanding.
Let's search the web. Let's search the web. Was this justified? City Primeval. Was it? Oh, Boyd Holbrook. He's the bad guy and he's generic. I love him. I think he's a good guy. I think I like his acting. I like his acting I like it very much.
The only things I've seen from him is he comes off like he's trying to be Boyd,
Okay.
but he comes off more as like a guy trying.
Mm.
Like Walter Goggins makes me feel like he's up to some nefarious shit, and then he's like moving pieces on the chessboard that none of us are aware of.
Yeah.
He feels like a fucking big deal fucking guy that's completely underestimated, except for by Raylan. And even then, Raylan's kind of playing catch up the whole time. This guy, from the stuff I've watched, feels like, live fast, die young, leave a pretty corpse. And I'll take out as many people on the way as I can. He reminds me of the guy in Justified who was like a gunslinger who was like determined to show Raylan who was faster.
Oh God! Oh yeah, I remember that.
They have the thing where Raylan pulls the tablecloth so he can't get his gun.
Yeah,
which was still, again, one of the most badass things ever.
I need to go rewatch that. I recently went and bought the entire series on Blu-ray, and I got through season 2. Season 2 is so good. Oh man,
I think Cassandra might be rewatching it.
Season 2 of that with what's her face? Where they go to you find the matron of that family, and she makes the apple pie moonshine. Oh my, that's just one of the best seasons of television ever made in anything. So good.
I'm seeing about, so I had something I've been wanting to do for a while. But it just never kind of came to fruition timeline wise, because people would be like, oh yeah, that sounds awesome. But then they would be like, I don't have fucking time to do that, which, hey, that's where adults' time is kind of the currency of all things. I wanted to do a show called I Have a Bad Feeling About Boulder Going. And it would be, we would go through and rewatch, for those of us who have watched it. One episode would be Clone Wars, and the next would be Deep Space Nine.
Ooh.
Because I find those two shows to be really good political sci-fi.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, especially. Oh man. I could talk about the character Quark for 9 days straight.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing, I really loved Deep Space Nine, but I haven't watched it in forever.
It's great. I recently also just got the entire series on some format. But yeah, man, I love I when I was a little kid, I always was like, Star Trek's so boring. Although whenever Next Gen was on, I'd so watch it. And then a few years ago as an adult, I went back and watched the original series through for the first time. I was like, this is pretty solid. And then I watched
the Kirk stuff.
Yeah. I was just like, holy shit! Especially keeping in mind the time it was set in. I was like, this is fucking progressive. Holy crap.
It's very, very good.
And then totally just full bore got into Next Gen. So good. And then jumped into Deep Space Nine, and I love Voyager. After that, it kind of okay, take it or leave it. But,
I like Enterprise a lot.
Because
it's Scott Bakula.
Yeah. I do love Bakula in that, but I don't know.
Dude with the hat's all right too. The guy who they have a shootout on the highway, and he shoots the hole in Raylan's hat. The guy with the weird hand affectation. I think his name's like Boone or something like that.
Boo Radley.
No, not Boone Radley. See, when I read that, James, all I can think of is whenever Adventure Zone finishes a season, and they have a wrap up episode called "Be the Adventure Zone," which are some of my favorite episodes.
We should, putting Trek and Wars together does make me think of William Shatner's owned beautiful creation, Tech Wars.
Hell yeah.
And we should maybe watch some Tech Wars.
By the way, I had forgotten how good Dick Valentine's first solo album is. Destroy the Children. Go listen to it. It's so good. I'm listening to it right now.
Okay.
And the song I'm listening to is called I Am Repulsed by My Daughter's Lover.
Ooh.
It is quite amazing.
Also,
it's got a song called Counterattacks, which is possibly one of my favorite songs, period. It's really short, but it almost brings me to tears every time I hear it.
Very nice.
And now another song off that album came on called One Policeman Leads to Another.
One policeman leads to another?
Yes.
It sounds interesting.
It's an acoustic album.
Ooh, like Green Day's Warning?
No, this is just him by himself.
Okay, yeah. Ooh, I'm just trucking along on this Millennium Falcon here. Diorama. But yeah, I did myself on the music front get both albums of Spirit Worlds that they have out. So I am so stoked about that.
Also, I highly recommend just going and watching the title track song, Destroy the Children, because it is creepy as fuck.
I like a creepy music video.
Yeah.
I'm always down for it.
I know you.
Man, I remember back in the day, like when Come to Daddy first dropped, and just being like, yes, this is my jam. And then trying to show it to people, and they're being like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, what do you mean? This is
Daddy.
art.
I don't know if I know what it is.
Aphex Twins Come to Daddy?
Oh. I'm not like
I love that.
I'm a weirdo. Like there's stuff like I just have a complete blind spot on.
Oh man. Yeah, Aphex Twins Come to Daddy music video is one of the most insane. I just love it. It's so weird and out there, and it's beautiful. Like this old lady's like somewhere, and like it's got that like what is it? The concrete kind of looking like Eastern Bloc, like brutalism. I think is the architecture style.
Concrete. Is it full of concrete people?
It's not full of concrete. Oh, you know what? That lady didn't even own a gun, because what happens is a bunch of kids come out of nowhere, and they all have the guy behind Aphex Twin. I can't remember his name, but they have like his face, these like realistic latex masks of his face, and it's just so disturbing. And then this entity comes out of a TV, and there's all this like industrial like techno just blaring. It's for a kid in 1997, it was fantastic.
It's like I will always tell people I will champion till the day I die the first Blade movie soundtrack, and I don't even care for.
Oh, I bought that on CD.
I have it as well.
I fucking love that.
BMG Music Club.
Oh man. Oh, now you're going.
I just remember like the beginning of that happens, like when he walks in and before Blade comes in and just does the most badass shit ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
also just, like the first, like, can we say the first great Marvel movie?
Yeah, I think safely.
Easy. Love that. Oh man. It's a war on all sucker heads, or whatever he said.
The world you're aware of is just a sugar-coated topping. There's a world beneath it. All right, I'm putting it in the chat.
I hang out with Chris Christopherson.
Go watch this video. Also, the lyrics are amazing, but I expect that from Dick Valentine.
Little old Dickie Valentine. Little Dickie Valentine was a friend of mine. I just saw Children of Lamb heads. What?
How far along are you in your Mountain Monsters journey?
Oh gosh, I need to go check because
you shot in front of me big time.
I dove into it really hard one day, and I.
So does Tony watch it with you? Oh, by the way, how's Tarm? Can you give me a Tarm update? Can I get a Tarm update?
I think the Tarms, they're holding solid.
Swole?
They're pretty swole. She hasn't had a chance to get her pump on in a while though, because just been doing the work.
Did you tell her about my Tarm?
No.
Okay. I haven't told her either, so I'm like afraid to tell her because I'm afraid she'll be like, okay, you fucking weirdo. Also, I'm afraid she'll be like, we can't be friends anymore.
Nah, that's not how Tony rolls.
I don't know Tony very well. I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
oh, she's great. I mean, not just because she's my wife.
No, I assume so because she's reached out to me a number of times. We've had conversation.
Yeah,
and I'm always
very
like,
caring.
She's super cool. But also it's weird for me to be like, give me a update on your wife's smoking guns.
They are intimidating.
They are terrifying. For those that saw her on Spoopy Boys.
Oh yeah,
when I was defeated fairly in the trivia off, Tony's arms are amazingly buff.
Does very convincing Rhea Ripley cosplay.
Yeah,
just with how jacked she is.
Well, and I'll say this too, like I lifted hard basically through my late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
And lifted massive amounts of weight. My arms never looked that good.
I
was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that's scary. Those are scary arms. Those are like someone who can put you in a headlock and pop your brain out.
Yeah, she goes through all sorts of like just crazy workouts that like I'm just like, what is this? What is that you're doing? Like, because just like what I do and stuff, it's just like, you know, such basic lifting. And then she's over there like, okay, I gotta do this. Then I get to rest for 10 seconds. Then I'm gonna go do this.
Is she a lift grunter?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was super bad lift grunter back in the day when I lifted, and people would be like, I can't lift with you because you sound like you're gonna kill someone when you do it. Like you're just getting ready to go on a rampage.
Yeah, it can be distracting working out with her, but it's very fun too because she's a very good motivator.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you have somebody who's super into it, I always hated working out by myself because sometimes I would hit a spot and I would just couldn't get over the hill.
Yeah.
But if I had someone in there who was like just, you know, on you about like, come on, you got this one more. It's amazing what like that positive energy of someone going through it with you. It's the same thing like even just like we would have to do, especially my last year of football in college, they would make us do dumb shit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We would do this thing at the end of practice occasionally called the snake, where you'd start in the back line of the end zone and you'd run 60 yards and you'd run 5 yards up and you'd run 60 yards, run 5 yards up the whole field. This is after practice. It's a fucking death march for fat guys. And the whole thing was like, if a lineman finishes last, everyone starts again.
What?
And they would be like, no, and they would tell people like, no fucking dog in it, or we'll all start again. So there would be guys who would sprint through, like wide receivers and D-backs and shit, who would bust their ass and they would sprint through. And then they would come back and they would run it again with the linemen who were struggling and be like, not like yelling at them, but like encouraging the shit out of them. It was one of the coolest things I ever saw ever in football. I mean, we didn't do that shit in high school, which is crazy because I always tell people like, you play football in middle school to show you're like, I'm a guy because of our fucking weird thing with masculinity. High school, you play it with your friends. Like there was so many people that just didn't play football because they were like, I don't want to play with those guys type of thing. But there were other guys who I was friends with who went out for football like their junior and senior year just because all their friends played.
Yeah.
And they were, they were willing to like take the beating basically because we had fun, it was a very tight knit group of people. And what I learned really quickly in college is you're just playing football.
Yeah.
You're running into a lot of people you can't fucking stand. I ran into so many people I could barely tolerate being in the fucking same room with them.
That's no good, man. Yeah.
But then that last year, even though I fucking loathed being there, and I loathed some of I loved one of my coaches a lot. That's the only reason I went there. But there was some guys on that team, and mainly the guys who were on scholarship like I was, who were not fucking hardcore Baptists.
Yeah.
Because it was a Baptist school.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it was rough.
That's no fun.
So they were like, they were there to for each other, and I fucking loved that. That was really cool. It reminded me more of like doing track in college, where it was like you're just like, oh, you got to go do your thing. Okay, well, I'll go hang out and work out with you because
yeah,
I got to work out anyway today. Which I was always like, oh, this is track, so laid back. I wish it would have been laid back in high school. I would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah, track for me in high school was pretty laid back, but that's because like I did not take it seriously at all.
We won state 3 out of the 4 years I was in high school overall for 4A, and we had some unbelievable athletes that ran track in high school and went on to run it in college. I just wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
And my head football coach was the field events coach, and he and I just did not get along.
Yeah. No, I had a falling out with one of my track coaches when I was the big guy and I was I threw shot. That was my thing.
Yeah, you did the field.
And this guy for one day he was just like, hey, why don't you go run the 400? And I was just like, what? Why? And just like to make me do it, I guess. And I sprinted like hardcore, and I blew everyone away. But then all the gas in my tank was gone.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, it's just like, I don't know what kicked into me, but all of a sudden I just had this major fuck it attitude. I was like, I know I'm not winning this race, so why don't I go out in style? And I started skipping down the track.
Oh shit.
And oh my god, wow, everyone on the team was laughing their asses off, but wow,
that's not gonna go well.
No, it did not.
Coaches do not like being shown up.
Made me a legend though, briefly.
Legend.
Oh god, yeah. He never asked me to do a thing again though. So lesson learned there, guys. Fail spectacularly at something you don't want to do, and they'll never ask you to do it again.
We had a buddy of mine who's passed away now, but he came to our school as a sophomore from Kentucky. He and his brother were just absolutely amazing athletes. Dumb as a box of rocks, both of them. I love those Isaacsons, but they were stupid as fuck. And James, his brother Dan, went on to play football at the same school I did. My last year of college, and he did really well there. But James was a better athlete actually, and he went up for track. And like I said, we had this disgustingly good. We had my freshman year or my sophomore year, we had the 3 fastest guys in the state in our class. They went 1, 2, 3 at state. So they were always trying to figure out ways to push those guys. So they would put James in like the 100, they put him in the 400, and they put him in the 800. And what they would put him in the 800 mainly because they would tell him, because they saw it at a practice one time, he went out and he smoked a couple people in the 800 because he sprinted the whole way until he threw up at the end.
Oh.
And that's what they wanted him for. They were like, James, we just want you to go out there and basically cause everybody else to have to, sprint.
Yeah, yeah.
So no kick at the end. And because he practiced with our guys, they knew. So they would lie in wait and then go. And it also made him like the perfect alternate for our relay team. So if anyone was tired or hurt or whatever, they would just plug him in and they knew like, oh, we're still going to win because Isaacson's insane and he's going to run like someone shot him out of a fucking cannon. So I always enjoyed like and then he gave like zero fucks about it. Like, he and his brother both could give a fuck about anything. They were the most laid back, like just stoners without being stoners until then they discovered weed and then they were stoners. I would refer to them as proto stoners, I guess.
Stoners.
They don't need weed to be stoned. They're already just weird. Which always made me laugh my ass off. So yeah, a bunch of my friends from high school are deceased.
That's sad, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I think because we grew up in a place that, and I didn't realize it when I was younger because I was very oblivious and I was not involved in shady shit like my brother or my sister even was. With a lot of fucking problems, and the older you get and the less options you have, the more you just get into fucking problems. And again, like I said, I can be very oblivious to things. So it's shocking, I know. But people get into some shit they shouldn't be getting into. A couple of kids in the class below me chopped the guy's hands off with a machete over drugs.
That's wild.
Yeah, my brother called and told me about it. It's been longer than that. It's probably been 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, they fucking chopped his hands off. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. And apparently it took a whole bunch of wax because those assholes used the fucking dullest machete possible. Like, that's what happens when you smoke a bunch of fucking meth and watch too much Scarface. But again, when you're dipshits and you're in a fucking 2-horse town, and you ain't getting out. I mean, there's part of me that understands.
Yeah, no, man. Like, there's a bunch of people in my hometown got up to some serious dumb shit, and it's just like, yeah, I get it.
One of my buddies was kind of a fuck up when we were young, and I grew up with this person, like literally grew up with them. Our families were super tight. There's pictures of us together. It's like fucking babies. He like got his fucking shit together, which was amazing. And then I found out that like he was getting divorced, and my mom was like, can you talk to him? And I was like, why? She's like, because I think they might be able to salvage their marriage. And you got divorced and it sucks. And I was like, yeah, I mean, but I got married for like 4 months and it fucking fell apart. Those two, they got kids. And I was like, I don't even know why they got divorced. And she's like, he was fucking the babysitter. And I was like, okay, well, that's. And then when I asked my brother, I was like, oh, that wasn't it. He's like, that shit was going on for a long time. He was like, those two were involved with a group of people around who, people who like kind of have money but don't have real money, like pretend they do, and they were having like fucking key parties.
Yeah, that's good. That's going on in my hometown right now.
Apparently he and I don't want to say too much more about like what he does for a living now and what he did then, which were like very altruistic professions. Yeah, and he was very good at them, or he still is. He's just moved up in the ranks of that. He's just not only he was being brought into other places to do his job, and his job is one of those lifesaver jobs.
Okay.
But like a lifesaver job, not of like someone with like a college education. God, he was a fucking fireman.
Yeah.
And now he's like in the state patrol and a bunch of other shit. But they were like bringing him to like California and shit because to help like with like wildfires and stuff. He was really, really good at it. And I think it's because he was, you know, when we were growing up, he also had like zero fear of anything. So, but like I was hearing about that, and I was like, and my brother's like giving me the lowdown who these people in this little cabal are, and I am just shocked. Like pearl clutching bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, but those people are like, you know, those are people I would consider very much like Bible beater, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you'd be amazed what like.
And he's like, yeah, no, they be getting down. He's like, I heard it's because not just the babysitter thing, which I heard that the wife was all right with. It's that he was fucking around more than that he was seeing some of his mutuals on the side without permission.
You gotta get.
And I was like, so she was all right with him fucking an underage or barely of age girl. But like, just because he was like doing some other shit on the side, she got mad. He was like, that's what I heard. I was like, well, you would know because you're people that fucking knows people. I was shooketh, which wasn't too bad because last time we had seen them when I was down, he and I were like, just, you know, it's like we know each other for so long. It's like we didn't miss a beat.
Mm-hmm.
I went to high school with his wife at the time.
Yeah.
I played basketball with her boyfriend. Wasn't like we were straight. She treated me in front of my wife like I was someone that didn't exist when we were high school. And I was like, what? She was so fucking rude. It was just like to the point where my friend afterwards, we hung out a little bit more before we left town. He and I did. And he was like, I'm really sorry. And I was like,
really?
It's so weird, man. She was kind of cool to me in high school, but I mean, probably because she was dating so-and-so. And he was like, yeah, I think that, you know, she was a girl who was, you know, kind of supposed to be a big deal. She was very smart, had all kinds of scholarships and stuff. And instead she stayed here. We got married and she runs a nail salon. So he's like, whenever somebody who like got out comes back, she kind of does this, and it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's like you could have left. You could have left.
Yeah.
You chose to stay.
But that's, you know, it's fun. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Do you ever regret leaving? Like getting out of that small town shit?
No.
I don't either. I would have died. I would have died if I stayed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was in a really, really bad place. Like when I met Tony, and like that was kind of the saving grace, was like she was in the cities and stuff, and then like we moved in with each other, and after a while, because the relationship was going so well, and it was just like I was definitely drowning in bad habits before I met her, and but also like that's what you do there, because there's nothing to do there.
There's nothing. Yeah, I mean,
how you socialize is by drinking or drugging, or if you're a certain type, you know, going and shooting at shit, or if you're like one of my ex-teachers, you start a swingers club.
Yeah, that shit is always fucking wild to me.
Yeah.
As far as like, listen to me. Listen. I'm not against that lifestyle.
Oh no,
that's your thing, man.
Do your thing.
You know, there's no fucking talking shit in this dojo.
I'll say this though about my teacher. He lost his position teaching because he also sent the girls' hockey team his dick pics.
That's my thing. Is like, if you're going to do that, you have to be very aware of like the potential consequences for it.
Yeah.
And just that whole business. You just got to know, like, you got to have real strong boundaries about it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, I mean, especially if you have like friends or family like who are not going to be down, you got to make sure like then that part of your life doesn't fucking become part of their life. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that's just I mean, yeah, it's
and also don't fuck
me, but
underage girls or underage boys. Just like
yeah,
if you can't get folks in your age range, then you should probably fucking take a hard look in the mirror. You know?
No, I'm totally there with it. Like, yeah.
But what I am saying is though,
there was a lot of that kind of weird, like,
but I am
oh,
saying if you're
16?
down to clown, do your thing.
Yeah,
And
man.
consenting adults. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I just want to defend that. You were saying though, there was a lot of that. What?
Oh, like the like that weird thing, like, when girls develop early and then all of a sudden you got like guys being like full grown men being all like around them and stuff like that. I was so aware of that with like certain friends of mine and stuff. It was just like, Jesus Christ. So
I
it's
kind of
not
wonder if that shit doesn't happen when people grow up in a small town where, not to make it sound crass in any way, but where the pickings is slim.
Yeah, there's definitely some kind of thing of like,
and you've got guys
girl in my back pocket.
Especially when you've got guys who like that's where they're going to stay.
Mm-hmm.
They're a semi-large fish in a very small pond. They don't have any reference point other than that, and they don't see any reason to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to put the chain on that girl to keep her there.
Yeah,
that's the prize.
Like in
Highland. If they take that shit elsewhere, oh
yeah,
they're gonna get fucking destroyed.
Yeah, man. It just small town living is a weird thing. I mean, and I'm not gonna say like all small towns are, like nefarious and have that rotten core, but David Lynch was onto something when he kind of like
Stephen King as well.
Yes, there is something.
There is
something
a serious rot in the center of those places.
Yeah.
There's like nobody watching because they're like, what?
Yeah, everyone's like, what the fuck are they talking about now? Like people tuning back in. Are they still talking about that weird shit? They were like, yeah, my teacher started a swingers club. Okay, they're still on.
Yeah. Hey, baby, this is how we do. We're not afraid to talk about the hard shit.
That's right.
No pun intended. Yeah, I could never go back. I barely visit. It bothers me to even be there.
Yeah, I've got some friends, some really good friends that still live in my hometown. Like one of my buddies, his parents are like not, they're a little older and they don't have the best health, and he like does a lot to take care of them. But I know like, oh man, if you got out, you would just thrive so much more than you are. But I understand your reasons for staying, and they're pretty noble reasons, but at the same time it's just like and and me myself, I could just oh god, no
once my grandma died, I was like, there's really, and this isn't meant to be offensive to my siblings or my mom or her new husband or anything like that, but once my dad's mom died, it was kind of like, I have no reason to go back.
Yeah.
Because that's the last person I was super like close to.
Mm-hmm.
Like my brother and I try. I will often say it's like when cats and dogs look at each other like, what are you fucking doing? And my nephew's awesome, and my brother's wife is incredible. But like we don't have anything in common. Like my brother and I have stuff in common. It's just there's a lot of fucking bad blood. There's just a lot of like, I was a real shitty older brother. And I do not blame he and my sister for being like, you were a real shithead older brother, because I was. But they also were real shitty siblings, mainly when we got older, which I feel like that's karma. But it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this. Because that became my personality, was like, well, I have a finite amount of time and a very finite amount of patience. And once that's exhausted, fuck off. I'm out. So yeah. But I love them. I just don't have anything to do. It's a small fucking place. It's I don't know.
Yeah. I hear you.
So
I am in so much trouble with this thing.
I can't think of the last time I was down there even. Grandma's funeral, I think.
Oh, really?
Wow. Because last time, 2 times we went down was for my dad's funeral and for my grandma's funeral. And did we go to my dad's? Yeah, I went to my dad's funeral. I got that confused with my dad's final wishes were that we spread his ashes in the Gulf of Mexico, or in the Gulf down by Galveston. Sometimes I get that all conflated, but that was like 2 or 3 years later where we all went down and did that, which was also fun to not get caught dumping ashes into the fucking which I'm pretty sure was one of the reasons he wanted us to do it, just as like, don't get arrested. So but I didn't go down for my mom's dad's funeral.
Yeah,
I didn't go down for my uncle's funeral, mainly because I was not close with my mom's dad. In fact, we were pretty adversarial, and my uncle is as close to being the most carny was as close to being the most carny ass backwoods version of Danny McBride in
Eastbound and
Down that you can get. Stealing my dad's meds and things like that.
Oh, for real.
He's that guy who had like this just huge personality, and he was like, everyone was buddy with him, but he would fuck you over in a heartbeat. And then be like, oh, he's a scorpion. He's a scorpion on the toad's back, on the frog's back. It's like, I can't help what I am.
Yeah.
And 2 of his kids turned into the same fucking thing, which was my youngest cousin stole meds from my dad to sell at one point. And I was just like, if I fucking see you again, I will kill you. And then this is the best part, which I think is actually pretty funny. He put me as a cosigner on a loan that he defaulted on.
Oh.
So for like a year, I was getting calls constantly from these people. And I was like, who are you? And what the fuck do you want? Because I don't recognize your number, but you call all the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we're trying to get this. And I was like, I don't, he's my cousin. We don't speak. Well, you're on here. And I was like, I didn't sign anything. First of all. You can look into that even further, and you'll know I didn't sign a fucking thing for him. But like, come on, man. But I was just shocked at the brazen, like, fuck you-ness of it. And I was talking to my brother about it. I was like, can you believe that shit? And he's like, oh, yeah. You know why he did that? It's because you hate him for fucking over dad, and you're so far away, he thought he'd never get caught.
So that works.
I was like, motherfucker. Again, like, I hate it, but there's a part of me that is just like, that is definitely my fucking uncle's son. That is definitely some fucking hillbilly fucking bullshit. I had to tell him finally, like, the beginning of this year, that if you keep calling me, I'm going to get a restraining order.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I was like, I don't have contact with this person. I've tried to help you as much as I can. Like, I'm done. Like, stop calling. So, and they were like, okay, fine. And then I gave him my brother's number. He was like, "Did you get in my number?" I was like, "I did." He was like, "You're a fucking asshole."
Nice.
I gotta pass that fucking good karma on. Because he knew about it and like didn't give me a heads up. So I was like, "This is the paper." He was like, "I just wouldn't be involved in that bullshit." And I was like, "I don't blame you at all." But guess what?
Yeah.
Now you're involved in some bullshit. They called him, he said, twice. And the second time he said, "If you call again, I'm contacting the Better Business Bureau for her and the police for harassment." And he said, "I never heard from him again." He was like, "You were too fucking nice about it."
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, shitty fucking family. Colin, what'd you guys have for dinner? Or what are you having?
Tonight I haven't eaten yet, but the kids had some chicken nuggets that
Nuggies?
I brushed with honey, and then when they were done, I tossed them with a little bit of salt and some maple syrup, and they had some waffles. So they had little kid chicken and waffles.
I like to put sriracha in my syrup, and mix it. And oh god, it's so good.
I love spicy and sweet.
It's the best.
It is.
It's the fucking best.
Like whenever we get Popeye's chicken, I always like drizzle the honey all over the chicken, and then it's all the hot sauce on it. It's just the best. It's so tasty. And that was such a cute little Lego build. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is a cute Lego build. Did you end up getting any of the things that you were looking at that we found together?
Not yet. I am kind of waiting to pull the trigger on a few things because I want to see if there's some stuff I can get for Killian on the. Who's here? No, he's not. Okay, yeah, there's some things I want to get for him on the Lego front that are. He's got expensive tastes, my boy.
Oh, does he? I was gonna say that's why I had hoped that you'd find some of that enlightened stuff because that stuff is amazing and it's it used to be inexpensive.
Spike, you saying what I think you're saying about me because I'm cooking? I ain't no man now. I ain't no man because I ain't cooking.
Ha! Well, Bill, ha!
Ha! Ha! We're gonna get you some of that energy.
He's full of energy. He's just full of energy. Are you all caught up on
brought up first? I did bring it up first, Spike. That's fair.
Are y'all caught up in
30 coins?
No, God, I'm nowhere near on that either.
I'm halfway through season 1 still.
I haven't watched it since.
It's good.
I know it is. I've just been real bad about it. I get a weird
like monsters, man.
Big feats.
Yeah, I'm caught up with big feats. I am so hungry for more big feats. Like I check almost every day, and it's just...
There should be a new episode soon this week. I haven't figured out when episodes drop.
Yeah, I haven't figured out what their schedule is either. But I hope that I hope they're getting a good viewership. I know I've been screaming about it on my socials.
I think they're doing just fine. That's good. I mean, just with dude who did John Dies the End Alone, you're gonna get some fans.
Oh yeah.
It's like Jason Parnesian?
Jason Pargent?
Pargent, yeah, I think you're right. I almost said Jason Parmesan.
No, oh god, that makes me the way you said that makes me think of I've been listening because I got into Dan Soder, so then I started listening to the Bonfire, his show with Big J Okerson, and I went way back and started listening to them listening to Corey Feldman's autobiography on tape.
Dan Soder is fucking amazing, but it's sad because all I want to hear him do is Macho Man.
Yeah, now all I want to hear him do is Corey Feldman because it's
his Dave Chappelle.
He's got his own
fucking Fox News.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's very funny. Yeah. I just need to find like a whole special he's done where he's just doing fucking Macho Man.
Does he have specials? I need to go check that out if he does, man.
Does have some stuff out there.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Trying to cool the entire outdoors. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Costing money by being lazy. Uh-huh. Colin, it's time for us to switch out of here so people can go watch the real Ming.
For sure, for sure.
What you got going on? Where can people find your ass?
Hanging out here, especially this coming Thursday. We're doing When Evil Lurks, and I'm excited to talk about it. It's a fantastic movie. Then next week you can find us. Please join us next week for sure, definitely, because we're going to be doing some Paul Naschy watch along action. Spike, you better be there with us.
Spike,
buddy.
if you have a Naschy film choice, put it in the Discord.
Yeah, because we're going to be doing I'll do some research and I'll come up with my recommendation or whatever.
I need it to be like peak Naschy.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's where you can find me from now and every Sunday, and so I pop up on prep school and stuff. I'm here and there.
You're gonna be back this Sunday for more work on Mountain Monsters.
Oh, what's up?
Hi, Maeve.
Been saying hi to you.
What am I? Oh my gosh!
It's Trapper, baby. Gone, but not forgotten. Always in our hearts. Always.
At first I was like, whoa, who is this old man? Who was he? What band was he in? Who is this lost member of the Grateful Dead? Oh, it's Trapper. Well, you can find me with Colin on Thursday. Doing that sweet When Evil Lurks. You have been warned. It is a rough watch. Gird your loins. It's gonna be a rough one. And then it's not a bad at games week, so I might do it. I don't know. Maybe if you
do, let me know, man. I would love to jump on and play something. Maybe we could finally do some like Friday the 13th or something.
Yeah, let me know if you want to do that. I
or anything, or like I do love your idea of us being like the worst supervillains possible in DC Online too. That would be a very good Friday night.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Killian. And then you can find maybe both of us on Sunday for prep school.
Yeah, I'll be available. And
I think you won't see us again. Down in Outlands is on hiatus, so yeah, Spoopy was on the 7th. So yeah, so there you go. Everyone have a good rest of your week. Colin, thank you so much.
Thank you as always too.
The Colinettes.
Hey, I like how you finished this.
I did finish this, yes.
That's cool.
I know.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.